Consider the unseen sanctuary within your mind, a hallowed workshop where creativity takes form. In this inner atelier, the brush of thought paints scenes that stir the deepest currents of being. You must learn to enter this space deliberately, for it is here, in the silent recesses of your consciousness, that every external circumstance finds its origin. By recognizing the imagination as the crucible of manifestation, you shift from passively observing life to actively sculpting it. When you grasp that every element of your outer reality first arises as an imagined sensation, you awaken the ability to redesign your world at its very source. To harness this power, begin by crafting a scene as if you are already living your dream position. Envision the exact office layout, the desk you will occupy, the colleagues glancing at you with respect. Hear the soft hum of productivity, the rhythmic tapping of keyboards, the comforting murmur of voices collaborating in harmony. Feel the plush chair support your posture, the smooth surface of the conference table beneath your hands. Sense the subtle fragrance of fresh coffee wafting through the air. Engage all 5 senses in this mental creation, for the mind records a fully textured experience far more convincingly than a mere abstract thought. When you paint this inner portrait with sensory richness, you plant its seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. The subconscious does not distinguish between what is physically real and what is vividly imagined. It accepts the images and aligns your beliefs accordingly. Over time, these impressed beliefs animate your daily choices, relationships, and opportunities. Like a hidden river carving a canyon beneath the earth, your subconscious shapes the terrain of your external world by nourishing it with detailed mental scenes. You are effectively irrigating that river, guiding its flow toward the manifestation of your desired role, and ensuring the landscape of your reality reflects your inner masterpiece. To construct your imaginal act, choose a quiet moment free from distraction. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and inhale deeply. See yourself entering the space of your future employment. Note the angle of sunlight streaming through the windows, the color of the walls, and the patterns on the floor. Visualize the outfit you wear, its weight against your body, and the confidence you exude in those garments. Imagine the voice of your mentor or manager greeting you by name, the warmth of their handshake, and the congratulations in their tone. Continue to expand the scene until every detail resonates as a living reality within your mind. Consistency is the lifeblood of this practice. A single mental rehearsal may kindle a spark, but repeated sessions fan it into a blaze. Schedule brief pauses throughout your day to revisit the scene, even if only for a few moments. Before rising and before sleeping, re-enter the inner theater to refresh the impression. If doubts arise, return to sensory detail rather than argument. Doubt seeks to pull you from the state of fulfillment, but when met with fresh evidence in your imagination, it loses its grip. Gradually, your inner frequency aligns more closely with the vibration of success, and opportunities begin to echo the drama you have already performed behind closed eyelids. Emotion is the catalyst that accelerates the creative process. When the mind is stirred with genuine feeling, the subconscious responds with equal intensity. Do not settle for a lukewarm portrayal of your scene. Invite the rush of joy, relief, and pride that accompany achievement. Let your heart swell as though you have received the job offer, and allow tears of gratitude to spring forth if they wish. These emotions are not extraneous embellishments, but the very energy that fuels manifestation. They quicken the pace at which your vision crystallizes into form, catalyzing a deeper resonance between your inner world and the events unfolding around you. Obstacles will present themselves, external circumstances that appear to contradict your vision. In those moments, remind yourself that outer appearances are secondary to your inner directive. Just as a painter does not discard a canvas because a smudge mars the surface, you need not abandon your imagination for one dissonant fact. Instead, refine the mental picture or revisit a triumphant note in your scene until its influence overrides the challenge. Such fine-tuning reinforces the subconscious conviction that no resistance can derail what you have decreed in the unseen realm. This unwavering faith is the hinge upon which your desired reality turns. Consider a young professional who longed to lead a team in an innovative startup. Each morning she carved out time before dawn to act out her success in vivid detail. She saw the layout of her future office, heard the applause of colleagues in team meetings, and felt the elation of guiding creative projects to completion. Whenever rejection letters arrived, she paused to rewrite the outcome in her mind as a glowing commendation. Within weeks, she noticed job postings crafted for her precise skill set, followed by interviews where she radiated confidence born of her nightly rehearsals. Today, she stands at the helm of her dream company, a testament to the power you now hold. Your imagination awaits your command, ready to transform thought into reality. By treating it as your sacred workshop, you become both the architect and builder of your destiny. Commit to crafting immersive scenes, infusing them with emotion, and revisiting them persistently. When the mind accepts the vision as fact, the world cannot help but conform. Step into the role you desire each day, behind closed eyes, and let the echo of that performance reverberate into your life. In time, you will awaken to find that the office you once imagined is no longer an illusion, but the very stage upon which your success unfolds. Feel the warmth of confidence flood your chest as though you have already stepped into the role you seek, for the feeling is the fire that ignites manifestation. When you assume the sensation of employment fulfilled, you are not pretending. You are aligning every fiber of your being with the reality you intend to live. Begin by closing your eyes and inhaling slowly, as if the very air around you carries the scent of achievement. With each breath, draw in the essence of success. The soft click of your polished shoes on the office floor, the low hum of thoughtful conversation in the background, and the subtle weight of responsibility resting easily on your shoulders. Let your heartbeat synchronize with this imagined environment until the boundary between thought and reality begins to blur. Next, immerse yourself in the tactile pleasures of your future day. Feel the smooth surface of your new desk under your fingertips, the familiar heft of your favorite pen gliding across a crisp notepad. Imagine the fabric of your tailored outfit, how it drapes over your frame, instilling you with poise and authority. Bring to mind the handshake that greets you each morning, the firm grip of your mentor or manager, the slight leaning forward that signals respect, and the sparkle of genuine congratulations in their eyes. Taste the first sip of coffee, warm and invigorating, unlocking clarity and purpose with every drop. Such vivid detail serves as a bridge, carrying your subconscious from doubt into certainty. Emotion anchors the imagination. Do not settle for a sterile mental rehearsal. Invite genuine feelings of pride, joy, and deep satisfaction. Allow your heart to swell as though you have received word of your appointment, and let tears of gratitude spring forth as if they were real. These emotions are not superfluous. They are the very currency your subconscious requires to validate the experience. When the mind feels something deeply, it commits that feeling to memory as truth. In this way, the subconscious learns to accept your desired outcome as an established fact, and your outer world begins to conform to that inner conviction. To maintain momentum, weave this practice seamlessly into your daily routine. At sunrise, before the world intrudes, close your eyes and revisit the scene. In the quiet of dawn, undisturbed by modern distractions, allow the imagined impressions to sink deeper. During brief pauses at work or between tasks, slip back into your inner office, if only for a few heartbeats. As you prepare for sleep, let the rehearsal serve as a lullaby for your subconscious, carrying you into dreams where your role is already secure. Consistency dissolves resistance. Every revisit strengthens the neural pathways that reinforce belief. Resistance will test your resolve. Doubts may whisper that no call has come, that no offer lies waiting in your inbox. When such intrusions arise, resist the temptation to argue with them. Instead, anchor yourself with fresh sensory information. Feel once more the honor of a colleague addressing you by title. Hear the applause that punctuates your presentation, and sense the quiet satisfaction as you close a successful deal. By refreshing the emotional tone, you override skepticism and signal to your subconscious that the promise remains unbroken. Doubt cannot withstand the sustained onslaught of feeling-backed imagination. Consider a recent graduate who longed for a leadership role in a nonprofit. Each evening, she imagined the moment her name appeared on the staff roster, visualizing the flourish of her signature on important proposals. She heard the applause of board members and felt the steady pulse of purpose in her veins. When an initial application was declined, she did not recoil. Instead, she replayed a revised outcome in her mind, a letter congratulating her on progress and inviting her to an executive interview. Within weeks, she received an unexpected referral, leading to a position perfectly aligned with her vision. Her story is proof that feeling is the catalyst of form. Embed the sensation of fulfillment into your very identity. Speak, walk, and breathe as though the role is second nature. Let your posture reflect the assurance of someone who belongs at the head of the table. Tailor every action, emails, conversations, decisions, to reflect the authority you have already assumed. With each thought and gesture, you are broadcasting a signal to the universe that you are the person you imagine yourself to be. Maintain gratitude as the emotional backdrop. When you feel thankful for opportunities realized, you amplify the magnetic field that draws them closer. As you persist in this state, you will awaken each day to find new evidence of your imagined victory spilling into your life. The secret lies not in chasing opportunities, but in embodying the feeling of having already received them. And when you do, the world will bow to the reality you have created. Imagine that your mind is a fertile garden, and every thought is a seed. Just as a gardener selects the finest seeds and removes the weeds, you must tend the landscape of your consciousness with equal care. A mental diet consists of the ideas, beliefs, and images you allow into that inner realm. By choosing nourishing thoughts that align with your highest aspirations, you cultivate an environment in which your desired circumstances can take root and flourish. Every fleeting notion of doubt is akin to a poisonous vine, choking the vitality of your creative power. To manifest the reality you seek, you must become a vigilant caretaker, plucking out negativity the moment it appears and planting affirmations in its place. Begin by developing acute awareness of your inner narrative. Notice the tone and content of the self-talk that courses through your mind. You may hear whispers of comparison, others are more qualified, or I am not yet ready, or echoes of past failure that threaten to cloud your imagination. These intrusions are not benign. They form the soil in which limitations grow. Your first task is simply observation. Pause several times each day and ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? Do these thoughts uplift me or diminish my confidence? Cultivate a habit of gentle curiosity rather than judgment. When you discover a harmful thought, thank it for its message and then prepare to replace it. Replacement is the heart of the mental diet. As soon as you catch a discouraging thought, displace it with a constructive affirmation. But a mere declaration of positivity will not suffice. You must craft statements that feel authentic and invigorating. Use the present tense, speak in the first person, and frame your affirmations as already true. For example, instead of, I will be respected in my new role, state, I am valued for my unique expertise and am making meaningful contributions every day. Infuse the statement with sensory richness. Sense the calm confidence in your voice. Feel the warmth of colleagues' approval. Hear the applause of success. When repeated with feeling, these affirmations become floodgates, washing away the residue of self-doubt. To reinforce this new mental diet, schedule brief yet intentional exercises throughout your day. Begin each morning by writing 3 powerful affirmations in a journal, giving each entry a few moments of contemplation. At midday, during a break or quiet pause, silently repeat these statements as if they were a sacred mantra. In the evening, review your journal once more, noting any progress or moments when old doubts crept back in. Record those occurrences and respond immediately with a fresh, revised affirmation. Over time, this structured routine rewires your neural pathways, making constructive thoughts the default setting for your mind. Emotion serves as the catalyst that binds affirmation to reality. When you speak your statements, summon genuine feeling. Let your heart swell with gratitude, excitement, or pride. The subconscious mind responds not to words alone, but to the emotional charge they carry. Imagine the exhilaration of opening an email that confirms your dream position, the rush of joy pulsing through your veins at that moment. Hold that vibration for as long as possible. If tears of relief emerge, welcome them. They are proof that your inner being accepts the affirmation as truth. By anchoring positive feelings to your mental diet, you accelerate the alignment between imagination and experience. Of course, life will present distractions and challenges, unexpected setbacks that threaten to derail your practice. When you encounter stimuli that trigger fear or indecision, return to your mental diet as a source of resilience. Create a simple mental checklist. Catch the negative thought, name it without self-criticism, then replace it with the exact affirmation you prepared. Picture the affirmation like a beam of light, sweeping away the shadow of doubt. Persist in this process with unwavering patience. Consistency is what ultimately integrates your chosen beliefs into the fabric of your consciousness. Consider the example of an aspiring project manager who struggled with imposter syndrome. Each time she drafted a cover letter or prepared for an interview, a voice inside reminded her of past rejections. Determined to change course, she adopted a strict mental diet. Every morning she affirmed, "I bring unique value to every team I join, and my insight drives projects to success." At work break, she visualized herself leading strategy sessions with clarity and authority. When old doubts whispered, she exchanged them for fresh affirmations until the positive statements felt as familiar as the rising sun. Within weeks, the mindset shifted so profoundly that hiring managers remarked on her poised confidence, and she found herself receiving invitations to interview rather than sending applications. Your mind is the great forger of experience. By monitoring your inner dialogue and feeding it with thought patterns that reflect your desired outcome, you orchestrate a transformation that ripples outward. The mental diet is neither a fleeting ritual nor a superficial tactic. It is the disciplined daily nourishment of your creative engine. As you embrace this practice, you will witness a subtle but profound shift. Opportunities that once seemed distant will appear on your path. Relationships will align to support your vision, and the external world will become a reflection of the empowered consciousness you have cultivated within. As twilight yields to the hush of night, you stand at the threshold of a sacred ritual, one that bridges the conscious world with the boundless realm of your subconscious. In these final moments before sleep, the veil between thought and reality grows thin, inviting you to step into an inner theater where destiny is discreetly forged. Here, nightly imaginal acts become your most potent tool. Deliberate mental performances that impress your deepest being with the felt certainty of your desired outcome. By rehearsing the scene of your ideal job interview or any pivotal moment within this liminal space, you seed your subconscious with unshakable confidence, guiding external circumstances to align with your inner conviction. To begin, choose a moment just as your body yaws under the weight of drowsiness, but your mind remains alert enough to shape vivid imagery. Lie down in a comfortable position, allowing the gentle pull of gravity to cradle you. Take a few slow, grounding breaths, inhaling peace and exhaling the residue of the day's anxieties. As your eyelids grow heavy, turn your attention inward, as though closing doors behind you and entering the private sanctum of imagination. In this sanctuary, distractions fade, and the subconscious welcomes suggestion with open arms, drawing a curtain on outer noise and amplifying the resonance of your inner vision. Now craft the scene with meticulous care. Begin by defining the setting, the polished veneer of the interview room, the soft glow of overhead lights bouncing off a pristine conference table, the subtle hum of air conditioning creating a steady undercurrent of calm. Populate the space with characters whose presence affirms your success, a panel of interviewers leaning forward in attentive curiosity, their expressions shifting from polite politeness to genuine admiration. See yourself entering that room. Observe your posture, the confident cadence of each step, the tailored fabric of your attire moving in harmony with your body. Imagine the familiar weight of a leather portfolio in your hand, brimming with credentials and shining as a symbol of your readiness. Engage every sense in this nocturnal rehearsal. Hear the rustle of paper as you place your portfolio on the table, the soft click of a pen as you sign your name on the welcome sheet. Feel the texture of the table beneath your fingertips, cool and reassuring. Smell the faint hint of coffee lingering in the air, an aroma that signals alertness and productivity. Taste the first sip of water offered by a gracious interviewer, its cool clarity energizing your voice and mind. Above all, summon the emotional elation of achieving your goal, the surge of pride when you sense nods of approval, the warm glow of gratitude as you receive congratulations. Let these feelings wash through you, anchoring the imagined scene as if it were already unfolding in waking life. Consistency transforms this nightly exercise from a simple daydream into a force of transformation. Commit to revisiting the scene each evening, nurturing the impression until it blooms into a new habit of mind. Should intrusive thoughts, worries about timing, doubts about your qualifications surface, greet them calmly and then redirect your focus. Do not argue with skepticism. Instead, reaffirm the details of your imaginal act. Recall the firmness of that handshake, the sparkle in your own eyes when you answer questions with eloquence, the unmistakable sense of belonging that infuses every fiber of your being. With each repetition, the mental script becomes etched deeper into your psyche. Consider a practical illustration. You imagine yourself seated before a discerning panel. The first question is announced, and you respond with measured confidence, your voice steady and clear. Visualize the panelists leaning in, jotting notes, eyebrows lifting as they exchange impressed glances. Picture the moment when the lead interviewer smiles and says, "Your vision aligns perfectly with our company's mission." Feel the crisp relief of that instant, the tightening of your chest in joyous anticipation. Hold that emotional peak as long as possible, lengthening it until the dream state blurs into genuine conviction. When you finally drift into sleep, your subconscious retains the unedited core of that experience. You were successful, you were celebrated, and no circumstance could contradict what your imagination has decreed. Over successive nights, subtle shifts will begin to occur. You may notice a newfound ease in actual views, an unexpected referral from a colleague, or a sudden email bearing an invitation to discuss your candidacy. These events are not random. They are the echoes of your nocturnal rehearsals, rippling outward from the uncharted depths of your mind. The subconscious, having accepted the imaginal act as fact, orchestrates external opportunities to reflect the internal drama. Trust that these signals confirm your practice is taking root, and allow gratitude to be the emotional undercurrent that sustains your belief. As you rise each morning, carry with you the afterglow of that nightly performance. Let your posture, speech, and actions mirror the confidence you rehearsed in the dark. Speak and behave as though the role is already yours, and notice how others respond to the magnetic energy you emit. In this way, the boundary between imagination and reality dissolves, revealing that your capacity to shape circumstance has always been within reach. By honoring the ritual of nightly imaginal acts, you harness the silent power of your subconscious and illuminate the path to your dream job or any cherished ambition with the radiant certainty of a mind aligned to its deepest desires. The past is not a static record, but a living tapestry woven by memory, and you possess the power to reweave each thread. When a moment of rejection or setback looms in your recollection, it casts a shadow over your present reality, seeding doubt and uncertainty. By engaging in the art of revision, you do not deny what happened. Rather, you transform its meaning and neutralize its lingering influence. In this practice, every detail of an unwanted event becomes clay in your hands, pliable, responsive, and subject to the guiding shape of your imagination. As you learn to revisit and reshape those memories, you dissolve their power to dictate how you see yourself and what you believe is possible. Begin by cultivating awareness of the memories that secretly steer your behavior. At moments when you hesitate or self-sabotage, pause and ask which past scene is replaying behind the curtain of your mind. Perhaps it is a phone call you stumbled through, a critique that felt crushing, or an opportunity that slipped away. Notice the emotional tone. Was it embarrassment, frustration, or disappointment? Acknowledge that feeling without judgment, for this recognition is the first mark of conscious intent. With curiosity rather than self-criticism, you invite yourself to step into the editing room of your psyche. Once you've pinpointed the memory, summon the specifics in vivid detail, the place, the faces, the sounds, even the scents. Close your eyes and replay the scene as it originally unfolded, then gently pause the mental movie. Now envision how you would have preferred it to transpire. If you fumbled over words in a presentation, see yourself speaking with clarity and confidence. If a colleague's remark stung, imagine their tone softening into encouragement, their expression warming with approval. Reconstruct the moment so that every nuance affirms your innate competence and worthiness. As you rebuild the scene, engage all your senses to anchor the revision deeply. Hear the applause that replaces awkward silence. Feel the firm handshake that conveys respect. Taste the celebratory sip of tea afterward. Sense the uplift in your posture as you stand taller with newfound assurance. Emotions are the mortar that binds your revised narrative. Invite genuine feelings of triumph, relief, and gratitude into the mental recreation. When your heart pulses with the conviction of success, the subconscious mind records the experience as truth rather than fantasy. Consistency magnifies the potency of this ritual. Schedule a brief session each evening, ideally just before sleep, when your conscious defenses relax and the subconscious mind stands ready to receive new impressions. Recline comfortably, breathe deeply, and allow the revised scene to unfold naturally in your inner theater. Should intrusive thoughts of the original event emerge, greet them calmly and then refocus on the rewritten version. Think of this moment as a rehearsal for your ideal self. With each repetition, the fresh impression cements itself more firmly in your inner landscape. Throughout your waking hours, maintain gentle vigilance over your mental commentary. When a trace of the old memory surfaces, perhaps triggered by similar circumstances, pause and recall the revised outcome instead of reliving the original disappointment. Let the new narrative become your default. Over time, the subconscious ceases to differentiate between the recreated event and actual experience. It organizes your beliefs, expectations, and behaviors around the revised version, freeing you from the emotional gravity of the past Consider the case of a professional who faced a humiliating interview where technical questions exposed gaps in her knowledge. Feeling deflated, she caught herself replaying that exchange repeatedly, each time shrinking her confidence. Determined to change course, she practiced revision nightly. She imagined the same interview but answered every question with ease, saw the interviewers nodding in admiration, and pictured the moment she received a congratulatory email. Within weeks, her demeanor in real interviews shifted, her voice was steady, her answers precise, and she soon received an offer for a higher level position than she had ever dared to seek. As you cultivate this skill, remember that the objective is not to escape reality, but to recode the blueprint upon which your present and future unfold. By consciously choosing to rewrite limiting memories into empowering lessons or triumphant victories, you align your inner world with the state you desire. The subconscious mind, which governs habits and attracts circumstances, responds to the most vivid and persistent impressions. In mastering revision, you become the editor of your own life story, replacing chapters of regret with narratives of capability and growth. Embrace the art of revision as an essential pillar of your creative practice. By transforming past setbacks into stepping stones, you unlock a reservoir of self-assurance that fuels every decision, interaction, and endeavor. The more you refine this technique, the more naturally you inhabit a state of confidence and expectation of success. In doing so, you demonstrate that your reality is not bound by history, but shaped by the living imagery you choose to impress upon your mind. Let this understanding guide you as you continue to sculpt your destiny. From the primal material of imagination, imagine holding a steadfast flame within your heart, a certainty that glows undimmed even when the night around you grows cold and forbidding. When you persist in the assumption of your desired reality, despite all outer evidence to the contrary, you become the architect of a fortress built on unshakable belief. This practice is not blind optimism, but a disciplined art. You train your inner vision to remain fixed on the end result, refusing to be diverted by fleeting circumstances or external delays. In doing so, you signal to your own mind and to the unseen forces that govern manifestation that your expectation is not negotiable, but a settled matter of fact. Begin by recognizing every appearance of lack or delay as a mere surface phenomenon, like ripples on a pond that cannot penetrate the deeper current below. When you see that a call has not come, a message remains unsigned, or a verification seems stalled, do not allow the outer form to rewrite the script you have authored in your consciousness. Instead, focus on the underlying conviction. Your position is already secured, your name already on the roster, your skills already recognized. By maintaining this inner state continuous with your goal, you create a vibrational envelope that encloses your desire, protecting it from contradictory evidence. To cultivate this persistence, schedule brief moments throughout your day to reaffirm your assumption. In a quiet pause before the computer, feel the weight of your future title at the top of your email signature. During a walk, sense the firm grip of a congratulatory handshake in your mind's theater. When traffic slows or appointments shift, use the pause as an invitation to revisit that feeling of triumph rather than succumbing to impatience or doubt. These micro-rehearsals are the mortar that cements your conviction into place, transforming casual thought into deliberate habit. When voices of skepticism arise, whether from within your own mind or echoed by others, meet them not with argument, but with renewed experiential proof drawn from your imagination. If someone remarks, "I haven't heard anything yet," resist the urge to agree. Instead, describe your inner experience. "I see my office nameplate, feel the smile of my team leader, and hear the applause of my first successful presentation." By expressing your assumption as though reporting a present fact, you reinforce the state of fulfillment, shifting the focus from the problem to the already realized solution. Emotion acts like fuel to the engine of persistence. A bare intellectual belief can be fragile, but when attached to genuine feeling, pride, relief, and gratitude, it becomes self-sustaining. Each time you recall the sensation of achievement, allow your chest to swell with emotion as though hearing your own triumph echoed in the world. Let tears of joy or goosebumps of satisfaction arise. Such bodily responses are the subconscious mind's confirmation that the experience is authentic. Over time, these emotional imprints strengthen your assumption until doubt finds no purchase. Consider a scenario in which weeks have passed without any visible progress. The human tendency is to equate time with validity. No response means no success. However, when you persist in assuming your desired outcome, you transcend ordinary notions of timing. Imagine a seed buried in the earth. It does not ask how long it will take to sprout. It only knows its nature as a living tree. Likewise, you do not measure your manifestation by the ticking of the clock, but by the unwavering steadiness of your inner knowing. Trust that the process unfolds in perfect alignment with your sustained assumption. Finally, integrate external actions that mirror your inner state, for outer deeds consolidate unseen convictions. Write emails as though you occupy the role you seek, using language that reflects authority and expertise. Dress and carry yourself each day in harmony with the person you imagine being. When you speak of your work to others, do so in the present tense, describing completed projects and mutual achievements. These tangible steps serve as allies to your mental practice, bridging the gap between imagination and form and inviting reality to catch up with your unwavering assumption. By persisting in your assumption despite all appearances, you cultivate an inner mastery that no external obstacle can overturn. You become an unwavering beacon of belief, drawing circumstances to you like iron to a magnet. Continue to tend your inner state with deliberate attention, emotion, and aligned action, and you will witness how the world rearranges itself to mirror the reality you have already embraced. Imagine moving through the world as though every step you take already echoes the authority and expertise you intend to embody. Each gesture a declaration that the role you seek is not a distant possibility but your present reality. Your outer behavior becomes the canvas upon which your inner conviction is painted, and every action, from the simplest email to the most consequential meeting, serves as a brushstroke that shapes your professional identity. When you align your actions with the deep-seated belief of already being where you wish to be, you create a living proof that resonates far beyond mere words or intentions. Begin by considering your daily routines. The morning ritual of reviewing messages, the moments spent drafting communications, the posture you adopt when seated at your desk. In each of these ordinary acts lies an opportunity to reflect your inner state of fulfillment. Approach your inbox with the mindset that you are writing as the person you aspire to become. Let your salutations carry the warmth of a trusted colleague rather than the tentative tone of an applicant. Craft sentences with the crisp confidence of someone who commands respect, choosing words that assume mutual benefit and collaboration. As you proofread, imagine the recipient's reactions, nods of approval, spontaneous responses, invitations to engage, so that your mind records the correspondence as an echo of your imagined success. When attending networking events, allow every handshake to be informed by the certainty that you have already earned your place among peers. Feel the strength in your grip, the clarity in your introduction, and the genuine curiosity that flows from knowing you belong. Visualize the room not as a crowded field of competitors, but as a gathering of collaborators drawn to the unique contribution you offer. Listen attentively to others, but let your demeanor convey that your presence is more than casual. It is purposeful. Speak of projects as though they are ongoing successes, sharing insights with the ease of someone immersed in the work. In doing so, you broadcast an unspoken message. You are not seeking validation because you already validate yourself from within. Tailoring your resume becomes an act of creative self-expression rather than a chore of self-promotion. Approach each bullet point as a testament to achievements you have already lived. When you list skills, imagine them shimmering with the vitality of daily practice, each line infused with the energy of actual performance. Describe your accomplishments in the past tense, not to imply that they are concluded, but to signify that they are foundational to your present authority. Present metrics and outcomes with the natural confidence of one who has generated them, inviting the reader to see you not as a potential candidate, but as a proven asset. As you adjust formatting and design, let your aesthetic choices mirror the professionalism and clarity you feel in your imagined role. Clean lines, bold headings, and an organized flow that mirrors the order you already maintain in your work. In interviews, the alignment of action and conviction becomes most vivid. Approach the waiting room as though you already possess the offered position, holding your head high and letting small gestures, adjusting a sleeve, smoothing your papers. As you enter the interview space, feel the atmosphere shift, acknowledging that your internal state dictates the external reception. When questions arise, answer from the authority of personal experience rather than the uncertainty of theory. Share anecdotes with the clarity of lived reality, presenting challenges and solutions as chapters in a story you authored. Maintain eye contact that conveys both warmth and assured competence, using your body language to reinforce the narrative of one who speaks from genuine belonging. Action without conviction rings hollow, and conviction without action dissipates into wishful thinking. The bridge between imagination and form is built on congruence. When your steps, words, and decisions mirror the state you hold in mind, the subconscious and the world are compelled to respond. If you encounter hesitation, return to the core feeling of already being in your desired role. Let that feeling infuse each action you take in the moment, whether sending a follow-up email or offering a suggestion in a meeting. Recognize these opportunities as invitations to demonstrate your inner reality. Small experiments that validate the assumption you maintain. Consider the professional who, in anticipation of a leadership role, began holding team brainstorms in her home as if she were already the department head. She drafted memos outlining strategic initiatives, shared them with friends who role-played as colleagues, and even created a mock presentation to refine her speaking style. Through these aligned actions, each a rehearsal of her future life, she honed not only her skills, but also her identity. When an opening appeared, she stepped into the actual room with the ease and expertise cultivated through countless imaginary rehearsals. Others saw in her the embodiment of the role she sought, and the path unfolded almost effortlessly. Let every email, every conversation, every decision become an affirmation of the person you are destined to be. By aligning your outer actions with your inner conviction, you do more than prepare for a role, you inhabit it in advance. As you move through each day, allow this congruence to guide you. Speak as though your insights have already shaped your organization. Write as though your proposals have already transformed industries. Act as though your leadership has already inspired teams. In time, you will discover that the external world merely catches up to the unshakable reality you have chosen to live from within. Imagine standing on a sunlit plaza of possibility, heart swelling with the warmth of unspoken thanks for blessings yet to manifest. Gratitude is not merely an emotion reserved for past gifts, but a vibrant force that activates the creative power within, calling forth the reality you seek. When you cultivate appreciation for opportunities before they appear, you set an invisible magnet in motion, drawing circumstances into your life that mirror your thankfulness. To harness this power, begin each morning with an inward invocation of gratitude. Close your eyes and summon the sensation of receiving a call offering your dream position. Feel the surge of relief, the gentle flutter of excitement in your chest, and the unwavering conviction that this opportunity is already yours. Let your mind linger on the texture of the welcome letter, the weight of the pen in your hand as you sign the contract, and the soft rustle of applause from colleagues celebrating your arrival. By expressing thanks in vivid detail, you impress your subconscious with the certainty of fulfillment, planting the seed of that reality deep within. During the midday lull, pause and reflect on the colleagues you have yet to meet. Envision their faces, each one beaming with support and respect. Imagine the synergy of brainstorming sessions, the spark of shared creativity that lights up every conversation. Sense the camaraderie and mutual encouragement flowing through the room as you collaborate on meaningful projects. Offer silent gratitude for these interactions as though they are unfolding in this very moment. In doing so, you magnetize relationships aligned to your highest ambitions. Gratitude in advance is more than positive thinking. It is a deliberate practice that reshapes your internal climate. As you rest at night, before sleep invites its gentle embrace, take a moment to replay the events of your imagined day. Recall the challenges you overcame with grace, the solutions you devised with clarity, and the sense of accomplishment that settled like a comforting blanket. Whisper thanks for each triumph and lesson learned, acknowledging the growth that arises from every step of your journey. These nocturnal affirmations seep into the depths of your subconscious, where they evolve into unwavering belief. Resistance may surface when you encounter waiting periods or unexpected delays. In those moments, rather than giving in to impatience or frustration, redirect your focus to the blessings concealed within apparent setbacks. Offer thanks for the unexpected pause, or recognizing it as an opportunity to refine your skills or deepen your understanding. Express gratitude for the unseen alignment unfolding behind the scenes, trusting that every delay serves the timing of your most harmonious manifestation. If doubt whispers that nothing is happening, counter it with the vivid memory of your chosen future. Recall the joy of stepping into your role each morning, the sense of purpose guiding every task, and the smile of congratulations greeting you. Stand firm in thankfulness and watch as outer conditions bend to match your inner state. To deepen this practice, integrate tangible rituals into your daily life. Keep a small notebook on your nightstand dedicated solely to gratitude, entries for experiences yet to occur. Each evening, write down 3 specific things you are grateful for in advance. Perhaps the handshake that seals a partnership, the encouraging words of a mentor, or the innovative project you will spearhead. See these entries as financial transactions of appreciation, depositing positive expectation into the ledger of your consciousness. As you read them aloud, allow the words to resonate with authentic feeling. Let your voice quiver with joy, your eyes moisten with relief. When you commit gratitude to paper and voice, you reinforce the desired outcome with a tangible action. Another powerful method is the imagined thank you letter. In a quiet moment, compose a letter addressed to yourself from the universe, celebrating the realization of your dream job. Address it with enthusiasm. Congratulations on accepting the position of Indavastrarium at your ideal company. Describe the day in detail, from the first glance of the office lobby to the final handshake at the celebratory luncheon. Sign it with heartfelt appreciation and date it as though the accomplishment has already occurred. Store this letter somewhere visible, returning to it whenever you need reassurance or renewed inspiration. The act of writing gratitude in advance amplifies its creative force, transforming abstract desire into a documented certainty. Emotional consistency is key. When you practice gratitude with fluctuating excitement, your subconscious registers the inconsistency and hesitates to deliver. Aim to sustain a stable level of thankfulness throughout the day, gentle yet resolute, like a steady flame that neither flickers nor wanes. Each moment you choose appreciation over doubt, you shore up the psychological foundation upon which your manifestation rests. The world you perceive is a mirror of your internal state. By infusing your inner realm with gratitude for unmanifested blessings, you compel the reflection of those blessings into your external life. Recognize the small victories as they appear, each productive meeting, each insightful idea shared, and offer immediate thanks. For the accumulation of these moments forms the mosaic of your grand accomplishment. When you walk through the office corridors, picture greeting each future colleague with silent appreciation for their forthcoming support and collaboration. Feel gratitude for the divine timing that brings the perfect conversation to spark your next breakthrough. By acknowledging and giving thanks for every facet of your imagined life, you weave a tapestry of expectations so rich that reality cannot help but conform. Maintain this practice with unwavering discipline, and you will find that the world responds to the gratitude you nurture within, revealing that the blessings you anticipated have always been waiting to meet you. And now, as you stand at the summit of this journey inward, remember that each principle you have explored is not an isolated ritual, but a unified path to awakening your creative power. You have learned to enter the sacred workshop of your imagination and paint your future with every sensory detail. You have assumed the feeling of success and let your emotions fuel the fires of manifestation. You have tended your mental garden, uprooting doubt and sowing nourishing thoughts in its place. You have embraced the nightly act of purposeful rehearsal, imprinting the certainty of your triumph upon your subconscious. You have mastered the art of revision, transforming past setbacks into stepping stones of confidence. You have persisted in your assumption, despite every outer delay, standing firm as the unwavering architect of your reality. You have aligned your daily actions with the state you hold within, moving through the world as though your dream role is already yours, and you have offered gratitude in advance, magnetizing opportunities through the simple power of thanks. Carry these truths with you now, not as abstract ideas, but as living practices woven into each breath and decision. Let imagination be your compass, feeling your engine, discipline your guide, and gratitude your constant companion. As you move forward, observe how the world shifts to mirror the state you maintain, and trust that every step, every thought, and every moment of thankfulness is forging the reality you desire. Your destiny awaits in the unseen realm of your own creation. Step boldly into that dreamscape each day, and watch as your highest aspirations take form before your very eyes.